Net neutrality, the crazy idea that the internet should be a free place and not blocked off and slow laned for people or have information discriminated against, is in trouble. It will be going down, but will it come back? That is the question. There may be some hope that net neutrality can come back from the dead per se, though it does look like, at least for a short period of time, and I'm saying that as optimistically as I can, at least for some period of time, there will be net neutrality. Some ISPs have shown that they will probably take advantage of this time and make that money off of us via price gouging, though it's going to be a fight, thankfully. It's easier said than done. On Tuesday, the FCC released a docket of rulemaking that would eliminate Title II regulations regarding telecommunications and how they are allowed to proceed with consumers. It is expected, there's only 3 people on the FCC, or 3 FCC commissioners rather. 2 are Republicans, 1 is a Democrat, despite that Democrat widely railing against the repeal of Title II classifications. It's very largely expected to go along party lines. Usually there's 5 people. 5 commissioners to the FCC. If Trump were to appoint another Republican, he'd have to appoint another Democrat. It just goes on. But there could be some issues going forward after this. Yeah,
the whole net neutrality thing is just, it's so frustrating because I feel like this is just yet another instance of, as far as I can tell, Trump's only policy is to undo every policy that was said about during the Obama era.
Even if it's something universally liked across party lines. Yes, this net neutrality is something that's supported almost universally,
almost unanimously. Yes,
we have 2.6 million public comments, a lot of guerrilla online activism, and still this FCC led by Ajit Pai, who was elevated to commissioner status by Donald Trump, is very transparently not working in the interest of consumers and instead working with the telecommunications industries, with the lobbies.
Well, it's basically, right now we're living in this era of the Republican Party looking for any and all opportunities for them to make money, which is absolutely what's going to happen in this ending of net neutrality. Is they're very much ruling in favor of these cable companies who, as you say, right now, basically you pay a flat fee for your internet for whatever speed you want, and that's that. They don't then control, what sites you're able to access and how quickly you're able to access information. But with the ending of net neutrality, that is absolutely going to be the case. And basically, you're going to be forcing consumers to pay more money to consume the things that they want to consume.
I mean, we do have a little bit of hope because this has to reach federal courts historically, and I mean in the last 2 votes. The courts have worked in favor of net neutrality. However, there has been a major swing in who is in charge. It's considered unlikely that Democrats will be able to swing the Senate back in 2018, though some lawyers do think, and some legal advocates do think, there is a chance. It's much easier to say you're going to get rid of net neutrality than to actually do it. They have to make a legal case for it. If Ajit Pai continues down this road and they win, then we'll sue them. There's no guarantees in court, but we think we have a good chance. I mean, that does have some standing. They wouldn't be able to undo the current rules without showing evidence that the rules are harmful to consumers. There will be a little bit of a court fight after this, so it's possible, at least if we can not get Trump reelected in 2020, that there might be some.
Please, let's not even give him the Republican nomination in 2020.
Oh, it's going to happen. I don't see how that wouldn't happen.
We could make history.
I mean, that would be incredible. But what bothers me is how partisan things are. How willing you are to put things that are universally considered bad through just because it's along party lines.
Yes, again, it goes back to what I was saying about Trump his administration just being dead set on doing exactly what the Democratic Party would not want. And so that you do have that division along party lines, which is a problem in the US in general, is this 2-party system just being divisive for the sake of being divisive rather than
But here's the thing. I mean, so when we're looking at this, it is so clearly in favor of corporations as opposed to people, as opposed to voters. But when Republican lawmakers vote for dismantling net neutrality, which is something even their Republican constituents want, they are not working in the favor of the voters. They should be voted out of office. And I mean, I think the best way to counter this is to consistently badger your Republican representatives over the phone. Well, online, I would say the phone is better. So there are other avenues, but those are usually the best ways to do it. You have to do your best to counter misinformation, and you have to make it clear this is not what you want.
Right.
Even though we did this on the online public forum, you still can. But I think Ajit Pai has made it clear he doesn't listen to that. He doesn't care.
He doesn't listen to anybody. He just does what he wants to do.
He does what his corporate overlords want
True.
to do.
Yep, that's fair.
Verizon, his former employer, wants him to do. He does what Donald Trump, who is at mercy, who is a lobby crony, wants him to do. You have to make your voice heard. You have to do your best to try this. We have, luckily, some lawyers who are willing to fight for this, and it is something worth fighting for, because without net neutrality, the way you consume everything online will change. You will not have freedom to information like you do now. What are your thoughts on this? Is it possible to get it back? Please let us know on Facebook and Twitter.